All right, we're coming to you a little late this morning, but we're talking about a lot of things. Paul's in dealerships today. I was in dealerships yesterday. We're talking about Apple pulling back on autonomous, side hustles, and, some culture stuff.
Yeah, totally. Kyle, do you know what I wrote into work today?
An airplane, bro.
No, I was going to say the struggle bus. That's why my hat's backwards already. Tell
the people about your woes, Paul. Tell them.
Oh, they can hear it because I got this beautiful mic that isn't plugged in. I have a beautiful camera, but I'm using my FaceTime camera. I'm in the Princeton Marriott right now. I'm going to speak to Sioka dealerships, 16 of their fixed ops departments tonight at their awards there. So I'm pumped just to be on the ground, be with some dealers. But yeah, struggle bus, hats backwards already. It's just, we're doing the thing.
That's amazing. Yeah. It's funny. I was on a call with another partner earlier this week, and they were like, you're a media company. You can figure it out, right? And it's like, yo, we're a scrappy media company and probably we'll figure it out, but it might take some tweaking along the way. Hey, we got a couple things to talk about. We, if you haven't heard, we're doing this thing called the year-end extravaganza, and it's going to be full on Tonight Show style. Like, we got a band. We got Michael Cirillo coming in. We got people flying in just for it. The whole crew's going to be there. And it's going to, like, Paul, when our show producer was like, yeah, at 1 o'clock, 1:30 and 33 seconds, we'll flip to.
We're like, oh,
this is a whole new thing.
So yeah, I'm excited.
Have a lot of fun there.
Our producer was out of. We called him yesterday, and we're like, oh, he's out of comms today because he was producing the People's Choice Awards.
No big deal. The really cool thing that we're going to be doing there is we got a little call from a little company called TrueCar. And TrueCar is doing a really cool giveaway for the end of the year. It's called the I Need a TrueCar campaign. And so if you want to, you can go to the link in our show notes. Actually, what we're saying is like, hey, you should tell your customers about this because they're giving away 10 $5,000 down payments. Hey, look, if it pays for a car, which that'd be surprising these days. They're giving that away for a little Instagram, TikTok competition. So the link's in the show notes for that. We'll share some more stuff, but we're going to be announcing the 10 winners at the year-end extravaganza live stream. So we're excited to help out with that. And hey, look, we love when industry partners or dealers are giving back around the holiday times. We've been sharing a bunch of stories in our daily email about that. So also, hey, look, if you're giving back, shoot us an email. Let us know, crew@asodu.com. We want to know about what's going on.
Great one. You can also search the hashtag I need a true car. And there's some fun ones to start watching. They got some influencers, the dude on the longboard with the cranberry juice, Dogface 208, I think it is.
Yeah.
And they got this catchy little song that they made that it was like literally stuck in my brain for like, I need a true car.
There you go.
Great copy. We got some news to talk about today, though, because the world is spinning regardless of what we're doing.
It's rocking and rolling.
So, this is a fun one. Not so fast on that fully autonomous Apple car. According to sources at Bloomberg, the company is pushing the planned release of their first vehicle from 2025 back to 2026 and scaling back the aspirations, saying this is going to be a full level 5 autonomous vehicle with no steering wheel and no pedals. Ain't nobody getting in a car like that. So,
not a chance.
So it's still going to only operate autonomously on the highways with the steering wheel and the pedals. But the kind of goal is saying we want people to be able to concentrate on other things other than driving while they're in the car, which is kind of cool.
I think it's a good aspiration, and I think someone's going to get it sooner than maybe we even recognize is going to happen. But it's still, hey, look, being a manufacturer is not an easy thing. Like Apple Car keeps pushing this back, right? There's been, even with, looking at companies like Rivian or VinFast, like it's not just an out and out play to be like, oh, now we make cars and now we sell them, right? It takes a lot to get there. That's why these legacy manufacturers that are making shifts in the EV or autonomous space are just continuing to kind of like topple bricks and get there a little bit faster. Now the processor that they're putting in these vehicles is they're naming it Denali. No, yeah. obviously,
truck,
right?
the
Not the
highest
truck,
peak in North
the
America.
highest peak in North America. It's 4 times more powerful than Apple's current highest end. Think about like I think about that, and like every time they come to, the Worldwide Developer Conference or they do their keynote and they're like, "We just created the fastest chip ever." And they're like, "It's 8 times faster than the fastest thing you've ever seen in your whole life." And they're like, "No, no, 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 no. In order to operate all these LiDAR and radar and cameras all around the vehicle to do the autonomous driving, we're gonna 4x that." And if I had to guess, by the time they get to 2026, it's probably going to be 4x or 8x that. They're just
Yeah.
operating on.
I wonder, how people say when there's already the next like 3 or 4 generations of technology developed and they just release them a little bit at a time. That way it gives consumers an excuse to buy the new one, right? Like if I can skip 3 generations, why would I want all the ones in between?
Right.
Unless, so I'm thinking like they just know that if this car isn't coming out till 2026, they just got to like throw the house at it. You know what I mean?
Oh, have to. Yeah.
Have to. So they got them. They got them.
They
They're just
got
putting them in the car though, which is going to be
The
pretty dope.
interesting piece, and I think that this is something that a lot of subscription models are going to look at, is Apple is also planning on offering insurance for owners.
A couple of bucks floating around the insurance world, I think.
Just a couple of bucks. Actually, we're seeing a lot of dealers and even banks kind of dip their toe in that insurance game and understand that there's a profit center there. And,
So good.
gotta pick up a couple bucks on the side of your main engagement. And hey, Paul, speaking of picking up some extra bucks on the side, more Americans right now are taking on side hustles to deal with the rising costs of literally everything. If you haven't heard, inflation is a thing, and interest rates are raising, and the ability to buy is getting a lot less. Even though in November, the economy added 263,000 jobs, taking over and topping economists' prediction of 200,000 jobs, according to the Dow Jones, due to inflation, which is causing rising household debt, lower savings. 60% plus of Americans are either already or considering picking up a side job to kind of buffer income.
Yeah.
Wild stat.
I wonder how many people have already doing this. Obviously, a note in the article too that most of the jobs are like ride hailing, food delivery,
Yep.
Renting out your house on Airbnb. They count that. You see so many people. It's just so much easier to do it.
Yeah.
And so it's like actually easier to be recorded. But I mean, it makes complete sense. People, especially the main demographic, right between 18 and 40, I think.
Yep.
Like side hustle has become a part of just common vernacular.
Yeah.
Right. Where it's just like a really accepted thing. People used to say, I have 2 jobs. I have 3 jobs. Right now they're like, I have a side hustle. Yep. So I think it's been around for a long time, but like the popularity of it and the ease of like literally on your phone, you just flip on my side job, flip it on, Absolutely. Flip it off.
Well, anecdotally, like we do some like grocery delivery stuff. Like that's how we like to get grocery these days. And like just the people that are now showing up in our driveway, dropping off the delivery groceries,
like the other parents from this other soccer team, like, oh, hey.
Yes, exactly. Like the demographic has totally changed in like the people that are doing the shopping, people that are dropping off these groceries. And so like, I'm sure that demographic is shifting across, even like, I'll Uber home from the airport. Right. And like, it's school teachers and it's people that have primary jobs doing, night pickup or weekend pickup and stuff like that. So it's anecdotally, I'm seeing that happening a lot. It's not something that you need experience for. It's not something that you need a resume for. You don't have to go do applications and job search and be on Indeed and all that type of stuff. It's just like you said, flip on my phone. Now I've got a side hustle. So
I bought an Apple Watch. I ended up taking it back, but besides the point. About 4 months ago, I bought an Apple Watch and I was like, oh, I can have this delivered today from the Apple store. And literally a whole family brought it by. They were just like a family, like in the minivan on their way somewhere. And they just pulled up and like the dad's driving and the kids are in the back playing their like iPads and mom just like rolls down her window, hands me the bag and they're off to, You know,
That's
like
unbelievable.
to
I've seen a couple families coming by. Yeah, it's just like,
yeah.
hey, this is what we got to do to make ends meet.
Especially if you're at the mall, right? Like maybe they were at the mall already. And they're like,
Right.
hey, we can make $20 right
We
now
can
by
make.
going the way we were going anyway, on the way to the soccer game.
Speaking of soccer games,
Segue.
I figured something like that was coming when we were already talking about soccer moms.
I know.
Hey, look, this story is near and dear to my heart, but I promise it has a connection to what we're all doing in business every single day. Yesterday, a soccer team that was not even supposed to make it out of the knockout rounds of the World Cup has moved on to the quarterfinals. So past the round of 16 into the quarterfinals, thanks to an inspiring coach that media in Morocco, which is the Moroccan soccer team, has dubbed Mr. Avocado Head.
Yeah,
So check this out. If you're looking at the video right now.
You see the picture? Hold on.
Yeah.
Put me on, Isaac.
There he is. I think we got a new name for Paul, Mr. Avocado Head of the U.S. So a few months back when they announced this coach, he was not, he's not like a high end or big coach that's been at big clubs, but he's just kind of that steady person, kind of like not your Ted Lasso guy, but kind of a general encourager, understands the soccer landscape. But the media dubbed him Mr. Avocado Head because they were just like, there's no way this guy's going to do anything with this team heading into the World Cup. But he's really placed an emphasis in the team on team culture and its relationship with the country. So they are the first Arab nation to make the quarterfinals. And people that are close to the team have essentially said, like, they've seen how he has really taken a team that actually, out of the 26 players, only 12 of them were born in Morocco. The rest were born overseas and have citizenship in Morocco. He's taken that team and said, like, no, you're playing on behalf of the country. That's the mode and the mood around the culture of this soccer team right now. Back to the head piece, like they'll, one of the fun things that they do in the practices is they'll come around and slap his bald head. But even to the point of, when you're talking like World Cup or Olympics, most teams don't travel with their families. He invited all of the families of all the players to stay with them in Qatar throughout. Yeah. So it's just this like extension of culture into the soccer team that's really created this bond among the soccer team is kind of the storyline here. And they were able to beat one of the best teams in the world, Spain, hold them to not scoring, and then beat them on penalty kicks. So just a really cool thing that can happen when maybe you don't have the 100% star players. You're not the big team. You're not you're kind of the new kids on the block. You're not expected to do anything and come from behind and win based on a story and culture. Was just like, I had to throw this one in here today.
That's amazing. It's amazing. To see like the impact of a family oriented team at the World Cup, right? It's not easy to take a family to Qatar during the World Cup.
Not a chance.
It's certainly not easy to take a whole team's worth of families to Qatar for the World Cup. But how can you not root for this team? I don't know much about soccer, but I'm rooting for the team.
They like that. They're the team now, right? They're like, if your team is lost, you're like, let's go Morocco, right?
That's right. All day.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Well, hey, look, that's all we've got time for today. We apologize for being a little late on your schedule if you were listening and you're a regular listener. With that said, hey, bring your family to work. Bring your family along. Get the culture together. We know that it can help successful teams win.
I got you for the last second.